Hello. Hey, it's Josie, founder of Women Who Lead with Heart, here live for my Sunday night training. Who is here? Who's joining? Today's topic is, can we just stop complaining? This might be a little triggering if you find yourself called out, but it's all in good faith. It's all for the greater good. It's all to help train you up. I am talking today about how we might tend to fall into negative chat loops that focus on the negative and find us in Complainville. Hi, Chandra. Who's here with me live? Come on in and say hello. So excited to talk about this. I have noticed this happening a lot. Perhaps the last year has given a lot to complain about. A lot of things that have brought what we call contrast, things that are unwanted. And we are smart, sensitive, perceptive women who will naturally see unwanted things show up. We're smart, we're discerning, we're taught our whole lives to notice what's missing, what's in error, what is standing out as could be fixed, what's wrong, what's lesser, what is lacking, what's flawed. It's how our cognitive brains are taught to function. For those of you in North America, perhaps you remember, if you're of a certain age, Sesame Street and the little ditty about one of these things is not like the other, one of these things does not belong. Anybody following along with me? It taught us at a very young age to notice something that doesn't look right, that looks like it's off, that doesn't fit in. We are taught to find errors. That's how our brains have developed. And that is a-okay when it serves us for a higher purpose, say math. It doesn't serve us if we just fall into this loop of negativity and focusing on things unwanted. There is a very famous saying, perhaps attributed to the master life coach, Tony Robbins, that is, energy goes where attention flows. Did I say that right? It also works the opposite way. Energy flows where attention goes. Meaning, that which you focus on, that which you give your attention to, that which you are casting energy towards, is where everything is going to be manifest. It's almost like if you're a skier or a downhill mountain biker, you know that you have to look where you want to go lest you crash. You're not supposed to accidentally look at the rock because sooner or later you'll find your skis turn straight that way and there you are, crash. The idea is that if we are only focusing on what's wrong and what's negative, that has power over us and actually can lead us down a path of destruction and negativity that is hard to shake. Okay, so if this resonates for you, you can give me a hell yes. You can say hello. You can say, yes, I'm guilty. Yes, I tend to complain. I just want to give us permission to have some weaknesses here. It is only natural for us, if you go back to the beginning, for us to see things that are missing, to see flaws, to see things unwanted, and to notice them and call them out. Life is not always daisies and rainbows. We can feel frustrated. We can feel negative emotion. We can feel thwarted by circumstances, and that brings contrast in our lives from the wanted and the unwanted. The issue for us is that when we start to complain, when we start to use our words powerfully to focus on the unwanted thing, the irony is it doesn't relieve stress by calling it out, it causes stress. There are scientific medical journals that have documented that only 1/2 hour of complaining causes brain damage. Is that not nuts? A half hour of complaining damages the neurons in our hippocampus that is the seat of our cognitive function, of our problem solving function. It erodes the capability of those neurons to figure things out. It is the anti venom. It is the wrong thing. It is the poison. that we do not need to be focusing on and feeding and harvesting. It makes us feel good, perhaps for a short time, to complain, to vent, to commiserate, to gossip, to tear down, to just whine and wail. It might make us feel satisfied at some level to be able to share our frustration as a way to connect with someone or something, but it is a short-lived negative experience that has consequences on our lives. Are you following me? All right, here's a little bit more. We know that if we feel that complaining or venting or gossiping or griping and grumbling makes us feel some relief to be able to put it out there and share it with someone else and connect with somebody else in this negative way, the irony here is it actually increases other body functions that do damage over time. So on one side, it might feel like sweet relief to be able to complain and gripe. But on the other side, it increases cortisol when we complain. Cortisol is the terrible stress hormone that has us put on 5 pounds or more. It's the stress hormone that has us finding difficulty sleeping, that can cause depression, that can raise our blood pressure and even cause heart issues or digestive issues. And it is not a juicy hormone that we want to create more of in our lives. So we know that the irony is that while we want to connect, while we want to disperse and dispel our frustration by speaking it and connecting with somebody else about it, it's creating this negative biochemistry within that can do damage and activate our stress response. All right. Okay. So what do we do about it? Number one, we just learned we need to be aware that it's unhelpful. We need to get awake to it. And hopefully that's what I'm helping you do. And then we just need to notice when we're following into those bad habits, because that's all they are. They're a bad habit. If you find yourself coming home every evening and venting to your spouse or your partner or your roommates, saying, "Oh, you're never going to believe what the boss did today," or "I cannot believe what she said. You are not going to believe this." And you start on this tirade, this rampage of negativity that you feel like somehow going to solve this dissonance that you feel inside. Notice that you're doing that and notice that it's a habit. Notice when you commiserate, if you have a friend or a relative, that the first thing you do when you get on the phone or when you're with each other is that you start commiserating. You start one downing each other. Like, "Oh, you think that's bad? Wait till you hear this one. This one's even worse. Oh, and that happened to me too. And isn't it awful? And you can never win." And all those other people, all those other demographics, they're all, just focused it out to get us. This is just bringing you down. Notice that. Notice when you have habits of griping or grumbling, when you roll your eyes energetically or in real life at the traffic, at the weather, at the news, at the dog, at the spouse, at the children, at the circumstances. Notice when you are interpreting things and instantly making it a problem that you can't solve. Notice if you are sarcastic. Sarcasm is a witty way of complaining. It's a way of being snarky, of tearing down, and it actually is from a place of smartness and weakness at the same time. So you want to notice these things. Notice when you fall into negativity, when you're just speaking negatively. And notice when you are tending to make someone or something or some circumstance wrong. When you're blaming, when you just want to sell everything out like you're not going to believe what they did. Like you're making somebody wrong or something wrong. It can even be the weather or the economy. It can be something that you feel like has nobody to blame, but you blame. You are just churning and burning. You are stirring up negativity like dust clouds that you're going to get dirty from. And it is unhelpful, sisters. That is what I'm here to tell you. So first we want to be wise that complaining actually hurts us. It hurts us physically, it hurts us mentally, it hurts us emotionally, it hurts us energetically. And then we want to notice, where are our negative patterns lying? Where do we tend to fall into negativity? Which relationships or which situations have us fall into this habit of griping and complaining and blaming? And now I'm going to teach you what to do instead. You ready? What you do instead, this might not sound like a lot of fun. You take more responsibility. You take responsibility first for speaking negatively, for putting negative stuff, ions out into the atmosphere. You say, "Oh, that was me. I did that. I take responsibility for my speech. I'm working on not doing that so much. I'm going to stop doing that." So number one, you take more responsibility. Number two, you solve the problem. When you are griping, grousing, gossiping, when you are passing around the negativity, when you're commiserating, when you're agreeing with all the yuck, you are not solving a problem. You're agreeing with the problem. You're being victim to the problem. You're being held down by the problem. You're enhancing the problem by speaking the problem. This one can be really triggering. There could be some of you out there in this one-way broadcast that are like, "Oh, but you don't know. You don't go there because I can't solve this problem. This problem is too big." And I get that there might be some very deep, painful feelings of inadequacy or impossibility or futile um, frustration that feel like they cannot be solved. But truly, sisters, we are our own creators. We create our lives with spirit, with God, with all of the good things, but we actually have choice. In almost every circumstance, we have the power to choose. Even when there's pain, even when there's suffering, even when the circumstances feel incredibly victimizing, we still have choice. Now, that might get to a place where it's really difficult to take that on board and be like, "Okay, great, I'll just start being different." You might need some coaching. You might need some therapy. You might need some attuning to find a way to start spiraling up from being in a really low place for a long time. And you know what's coming. That's what I'm here to do, sisters. That's how I serve. I am a coach. I'm a coach that helps show you your thoughts, that helps you see that your behavior comes from your thoughts and your feelings, that helps you see how you can choose better and supports you and holds you accountable to those choices. And that's why you hire me. That's why you reach out to me. You're like, "You know what? I think I need some help. I think I do want to grow. I think I do want to be better." Just like a baseball pitcher has a coach that helps them realize how to release the ball so they can make a strike, you hire a life coach, you hire a leadership coach, you hire a personal coach to help you get more strikes in your life. All right. So, how did this go today? Did you learn anything? Are there any helpful tips here about how you can rewire the negativity, how you can reframe the way you see things so that you will not just gripe about them, but try to solve the problem? Can you find in the problem some powerful stance or hope rather than feel powerless and overwhelmed, inconsequential, and like the universal shoulder shrug, like there's nothing you can do? Can you focus on the future, the decision you're about to make that might be extravagantly different than anything you've ever done before, than just look at the past? The past view often is full of negativity, the way that our brains interpret it. Can you think about one decision away from making a better choice in the future? These are the habits that you can start to attune to, that can help fill you up rather than make you feel empty, that can undo the damage that we're doing to our brains when we're feeding it negativity, that can heal the biochemistry that we're fueling ourselves on when we're focused on the negative. I hope that you feel inspired and um, uplifted. And if you're curious to learn more about what having a coach could mean for you, reach out. You can find me right here on Instant Messenger, or you can click on the link that I'll put in the comments below for how you could book a free call to find out how you can get further along. So much love to you, ladies. This brings love and lots of positivity and good things. Bye for now.